Hi, so I want to talk about how you know your idea is worthwhile. So I'm talking about how you validate your idea. You might have a fantastic thought saying, I'm going to transform the world. But if you don't speak to your potential customers, you won't know, one, will they pay for it? Two, is it worth it? And three, will it work? One of the ways to find out how to make sure your product or service is going to be valuable to someone is through the value proposition canvas. This is something that Strategizer has come out with, and I'll share a link in the description, where essentially you have two sides. You've got one side which is the product, the services, and what features and benefits you're going to actually build. So one side of it. The second side is your customer. So what are they happy with? What are they unhappy with? What are they trying to achieve? And now these two worlds combine to create what is your value proposition. The thing that sets you apart from others, or the thing that your product or service is going to do that is going to make sure your customers are going to be happy. Now this forms part of your business model canvas, which I'll get into in a different video, but this is a very important part of your research phase. Now let me get one of these up from strategizer.com and we'll go through a live example together. So here you can see the value proposition canvas as it's been taken from strategizer.com. It's quite simple getting live here. You can see the two sides of things, the customer segment, the value proposition. In the middle is your value proposition. So there are two very distinct areas here. Where do you start? Now a lot of people believe you start left to right. If you just had a look at this and you're given it, chances are you probably go, oh, I know what my product and service is, I know what it does really well, and I know how it's going to help people. But if you haven't done any research, if you haven't spoken to people, if you haven't done surveys, if you haven't done research, if you're not a user, if you don't know any users, how are you going to know that it is actually a valuable product? How do you know that you are going to be helping people? How do you know those pains are actually pain points? There could be other ones you haven't thought about. So the right place to start is actually in the customer segment over here. Let's take the example of McDonald's, right? Everyone likes McDonald's. At the time when it was created, well before my birth, you went to a restaurant, you ordered a burger, you waited for that burger, you were given the burger and you would leave. You would eat your burger at a booth. The customer jobs, or jobs to be done, you wanted to eat a burger. You wanted a place to eat that burger. And you wanted to get it done within a certain time frame. The gains, burger tasted great. You didn't need to cook. You could order your food, pay for your food, and eat your food. And you had somewhere to sit. The pains, it does take time. Can be expensive. If there are no booths, where do you sit? Where do you eat? Sometimes you have to wait for a table. Those are a few of the pains. Now, if you spoke to enough people, and depending on if the people were in the line or sitting down, they might have different pains as well. So how could McDonald's and how did McDonald's resolve that? Well, Game Creator, you can eat anywhere. You can eat it in your car, you can eat it at the park, you can eat it at home, you can take it out for a picnic, you can eat it wherever you would like. Takeaway burger. Game Creator, because it's takeaway, you don't have to wait in line for a table. Game Creator, it's fast. You get what you want, you get it quickly. That could also be a pain reliever. It's fast. No seating means no lines. Means you can eat anywhere. And it still tastes great. Product and service. Burgers, takeaway, burgers made fast. Cheap. All those things combined to make a value proposition where McDonald's had, which other restaurants didn't have. They created a venue people could go to, a restaurant people could go to order food, get food nearly instantly, and eat it wherever they wanted. The concept worked. So how does it work in modern day world, right? Everyone has customers. Without customers, you're not going to have a business. If you're non-for-profit, your customers might be the government. If you're non-profit, your customers might be the service you're trying to resolve. Excuse me, I'll be right back. So let's use modern day world, right? Let's talk about the postage service. So the customer job I want done is I want my stuff delivered on time, quickly, safely to me. Now when I get my parcel, I'm happy. When it's delivered quickly, I am happy. When it's delivered accurately and to me and I don't need to go to a shop, I am very happy. Pains are when you're not home, it's left in an unsafe place. Maybe it's not even for you, or it arrives damaged. There's probably more pains than that. Now, value proposition for someone were they too disrupted could be a pain reliever of always delivered to a safe location. Maybe when you're not home, it delivers to you, or they hang around at your house, or they deliver it via drone up into your balcony and deliver it that way. Game creator is maybe they have their own unboxing. It's a simple unboxing, supplied service. Unbox it, it's beautiful, things pop out, fireworks go off, maybe not fireworks, confetti, maybe not confetti, something exciting. Something where you go, that was a cool experience, and then you get to your product. Product and service could be delivery via drone, delivery via robot, delivery on your terms, where it recognizes when you're there, where you're going to be, and delivers it appropriately. Now in that case, the doorbell, that was a delivery for someone else, not for me, someone in the apartment building, and they weren't there when I went and answered the doorbell. They weren't there when I was downstairs, but the delivery was there, and it was food. I would say that's not safe to be left out. I'd probably say the person who ordered it probably doesn't want a week's worth of groceries left there. And lastly, that's not secure. I could have been hungry. If you don't start with the customer, you're going to create something which may not be useful. There's a story I heard, someone creating a travel website or travel service specifically for women. Founders, both males, had never spoken to potential customers at this stage. They had the product, they had what they said was a fantastic thing, it's going to help, improve this, help reduce this challenge. But if they hadn't validated it, hadn't spoken to someone, how are they going to know what they're doing is actually correct? For me and my idea, I've reached out to about 60 odd people. I've spoken to a dozen or so interviews, very formal interviews, where I've had set questions, if this problem exists, what problem do you think exists in the industry? What's a challenge that you think exists? If you could fix it, how would you fix it? How would you feel if you did fix it? What if there was a service existed that could do this? What would you be willing to pay? Finally, at the end of every survey, who else should I speak to? Who could you recommend that can provide me some advice? Now this interview doubled as also some scoping. Would you be a customer? Hey, you said that this problem existed, it frustrates you. You'd pay for it. Well, hello, I exist. Let's sign you up. That was the only way I validated my idea, and my idea actually transformed considerably as a result. I'll talk about that separately. I'll talk about that at another time. It's only because I did this customer segment first that I was able to fix that. Scratch that. I built a product, built a website, built a service, said what it was good at, based off my biases. Went back to the customer research and realized I was thinking small and I had a much bigger opportunity than I did have. And I also validated the idea. Anyway, start with your customers, download the Strategizer template or draw it on a piece of paper. Start with the customer jobs to be done, the gains, the pains when they do that job. Then flip it over to what you think you could do. How can you solve those problems? How can you make things better? How can you reduce negatives? What products or services do you need to build to do that? From there, you can see up the top, you've got 2 columns whited out. Business model canvas, you're on the way. Everything you build and everything you do should be around this. This is going to be your why. Cheers. Bye.